morning. How you guys doing today? Happy Tuesday. Whew, hope you had a good break. Mine was all right. I ended up getting my COVID shot, my first one, on Monday, and that knocked me out. I was just flat on my back starting Monday night, all of Tuesday and some of Wednesday, but I'm doing a little bit better, so that's good news, right? I didn't get as much done as I wanted over break, which is unfortunate, so I'm behind. Probably no surprises there. But I got to get working on your quizzes here before you take your midterm. I'll be working on those throughout today and tomorrow. I should be able to get them all in for you. So let's take a look at our schedule here. Right, we made it to week 9. Congratulations. We've got midterm review today. Hopefully you had a chance to look at some of the sample long answer style questions that I had sent. And then on Thursday, we've got that time set aside for the midterm itself. Now, I know not all of you are morning people. If you're anything like me, getting to a 10 a.m. class is a little rough sometimes. So I will open the midterm midnight 3:11, and as long as you get it in by Friday 11:59 p.m., you're fine. So any 2-hour block of time that you want to take on Thursday or Friday is fine. You can start the midterm, but it does have that 2-hour time limit. So you need to make sure once you hit start, you got 2 hours to sit and do it. Okay? So we'll go over some of those sample questions today. Again, there'll be 15 quiz-style questions, right? Those like short answer, fill in the blank, true, false, if false, correct the statement, kind of questions from the quiz. Did I not post it? I just email it? I'm going crazy here. I think maybe I just put it in Discord. Let me take a look. Gotta find all this now. All right. Maybe I only ever put it in Discord. Okay. That's all right. I can find that. I thought I had emailed it out, but I'm not seeing it in my email history now. Let's see what I can find. Hopefully you guys had a good break. You do anything fun? Come on, Discord, let's load. Okay, just in Discord. At least I did post it though. That's better than not posting it at all. All right. So if you didn't see it in Discord, then I can share it now. Grab that here. Okay. And throw it over here. No, okay, that looks like good. I'll just put Discord over here. That's fine, right? Oh, here, I'll just put it in the D2L. That's what I can do. All right. Announcements. Okay, here we go. So, whoa, that's fun. So 15 quiz style questions, right? 3 long answer programming questions, 1 on classes, 1 on string functions, and 1 on inheritance. Okay, so an example kind of question. So this is what I mean by a question on classes unit testing. Hey, top of the morning, indeed. Plan on doing Project 3, but you played Final Fantasy VII Remake all week. Nice. I've not yet played the remake myself. I've seen a couple people play it on Twitch. I liked Final Fantasy VII for sure. I spent a lot of time in that game. I had the PC version. It was a lot of fun. I don't think I rolled over 99 hours, but I think it was probably close to 80 something hours I put into it. And I think I beat Emerald Weapon. I never beat Ruby Weapon. I beat Emerald Weapon. Anyway, got the Gold Chocobo. That was a fun game. All right, so a question on classes and unit testing. So, for example, I might ask you to write a class like pizza. It should have an array list of type string to store the toppings, an integer value for number of slices, double for base cost, and a double for price per topping. We should have a method add topping that adds a string value for the topping to the array list of toppings, a method get total cost that returns the base cost and price per topping times number of toppings. Write a unit test for get total cost. Okay, so that's what I mean by classes and testing. So we should be able to get the total cost. So you should know, based on how many toppings you have, right, because there's a price per topping, what the total cost should be. So we'll set up, this is what I expect if I add 3 toppings. Should be the total cost. If I add no toppings, the total cost should just be the base cost, that sort of thing. So we want to make sure we can unit test a class that we write. Okay, it doesn't have weird highlighting. It's just clicked in there. A function bad encryption given a string word argument that takes each character in the string, adds its index position to it, and returns the badly encrypted string. For example, if I passed AAA, I'd get back ABC. Right, so index 0, I add nothing to it. Index 1, I add 1 to it. Index 2, I add 2 to it. So just playing with strings. Encryption is even a stretch here, but more like scrambling, or I think it might be a cipher at that point. There's some interesting technical terms around that. So just playing with strings. This was taking each character out of the string, right, building a new string. And then I'll give you some code here, like I did in this example. This is the Beverage class I wrote. And you need to extend Beverage. When you attempt to drink, return an error message if the ounces argument is greater than the current volume in ounces. Otherwise, return a successful message string. Is that not clickable? Nope. Oh, it gave me way too much. There we go. Here's midterm review. Oh, I copied the whole thing. Nice. That's useful. Okay, so this is Beverage as an abstract class here, right? So when you write a class that extends Beverage, let me zoom that in a little bit, sorry, you are going to have to implement a fill and a drink method. This one doesn't do that, but it does do a get max volume, get current volume, get name with protected strings. Right, so it's got a constructor. Remember, if our parent class has a constructor that takes arguments, you know we're going to have to call it. Very first thing in our constructor. Okay? And then we have to implement these ones here. So how do we fill up a cup? Or fill up our beverage? How do we drink from our beverage, whatever our ounces is? Yeah, if you want to write it and commit it to GitHub and give me the link, that's great. If you want to write it in NetBeans and then copy paste it into D2L, that's fine too. I can work with either. Whatever is easier for you. So if you're comfortable with the GitHub flow by now, great, go for it. If you'd rather just copy paste it right in, that's cool too. I can do either. Okay, so those were the example questions. You can expect something similar to that, right? Where'd it go? There we go, there. Trying out the Edgium, I think is what they call this now. Just switch to these vertical tabs instead of the horizontal. I'm sorry, the horizontal, yeah, vertical here instead of horizontal tabs. And I think I actually do like it. because I've got a relatively wide screen here. And then you can actually like see a lot more information about your tabs rather than when you've got like 20 of them open. You only get like the icon at best at the top. So a coworker suggested it, and I'm giving it a try. I think I like it. Okay, so we post that there, and we can work on those. And then if you have any other specific questions, please do let me know. Be happy to go over anything. This midterm review session is for you folks. Right, inside the class, and make another object to implement what, the Beverage, a class that extends Beverage. It's a whole new file because we want another public class that you can use. Here's our midterm review class. I made roll. Our Thanksgiving was a little bit belated. We had our first Thanksgiving in a hotel, eating microwave food in Philadelphia while I was getting COVID. So we promised the kids a do-over, and it's finally getting around to doing that. I got the turkey out and tried to thaw it. It did not thaw well, so we had to make a rotisserie chicken, or just like a whole chicken, not rotisserie. Make a big chicken. But I always make rolls every Thanksgiving. The kids always look forward to it, and they're amazing rolls. It's my mother's recipe. It was wherever she got it from, but she's been making them forever. So I started making them for Thanksgiving years ago. So these are so good. Okay, so which one do you want to do first? You do pizza? You do pizza. See if we can copy some of this here. So add pizza. All right. So pizza has a couple attributes, right? Let's see if I can put some of this in. All right, so that should probably be a comment block, right? Okay, now I won't mess everything up. So we're gonna have a bunch of attributes. So a private array list type string, toppings, a private int number of slices, private double base cost, and a private double price per topping. Price per topping. Okay, good, we're getting there. It doesn't know what an array list is. That's okay. Let's import that, please. Thank you, NetBeans. Okay, and then methods or constructor. Usually your constructor goes first with, so I'll write that, pizza. And I didn't specify, right, what you needed to have in the constructor. Totally up to you. I would probably have the number of slices, the base cost, and the price per topping. If you want to write set methods for all those, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? You're welcome to add a bunch of set methods. But I think if we take them in the constructor, it's probably easiest for us. And totally up to you. We'll add some getters. Now, getting an array list here, we want to be a little bit careful we don't hand them right back the array list. Is there any chances to update it? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, Yogi. I'm behind on grading the quizzes. I ended up being sick for 2.5 days after I got my COVID shot over break. So I was not as productive as I was hoping. I'll be working on getting those in today and tomorrow. But definitely I'll have all those quizzes in before you do your midterm. Sorry for the delay there. So I do want to be careful with toppings because I want to make sure I'm giving them a copy, not my topping array list. Remember, if you return a reference type, so if I just return the straight array list here, they're going to be able to have access to modify that directly. Maybe that's not the worst thing in the world, but generally it's a bad thing, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so I don't want to do toppings. I want to do toppings dot. Let's see, we want a way to copy this. So if we take it to an array, it might be helpful. But then I want a new array list. Let's see. I think we can just use a copy constructor. Let's see. We do a new array list of type string given toppings. I think this will do it. I think if we make a copy here with a copy constructor, I think that ought to do it for us. We can look that up. That's a good question. Use a diamond reference. Oh, that's fine. Okay, again, this not too big of a deal, just a good habit. Right? Don't give back reference types unless you really want them to have that reference type. And sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. So this number of slices is my number of slices. This dot base cost is my base cost. And this dot price per topping is the price per topping. And don't forget, right, the constructor's job is to initialize all of our attributes. So price per topping equals a new array list of type string. String, yeah, we can put string in there. It's not going to hurt anything to have it in there. And too many parentheses. Okay, so make an instance of it. Right? Initialize it. We've declared it here. We need to initialize it. Then we can set all of our values, or any order, right? Okay, now we're going to add topping. Void add topping. String for topping. We're going to take our toppings list, and we're going to append or add toppings.add. There we go. Add the topping. Awesome. Okay. Assign return value to the new variable. Sure. And then I get total cost. So that one probably needs to return something, right? If we're getting a total cost, probably return a double. Get total cost. We'll give this a little format. So we have the base cost, and then we have price per topping, right? So we're going to return my base cost plus my toppings dot size times my price per topping. Right? If you want to make sure we're being explicit here, you're welcome to do it with some parentheses for order of operation, but we know multiplication happens first. Thank you, PEMDAS. Right? RDR anti-alias is quite helpful. But nothing wrong with adding the parentheses here. Right? I know it's redundant, but it's nice and like, yes, I explicitly want this to happen. Okay, we got our methods, and the unit test. That, you know, we should probably never trust the computers to follow PEMDAS, right? we should tell them explicitly what we want. And you know, most of the time, I think it's just us humans screwing it up, because the computer's actually pretty good at doing it, but we screw things up a lot. Okay, and then a unit test. So let's right click, navigate, go to test, and I want unit test, sure. And I only asked for the one for get total cost. So you don't need to do more than that, okay? So I don't need that one, and I don't need these ones. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so get total cost. We're going to arrange, we're going to act, and we're going to assert. Okay, so we need an double expected total cost. I don't know, is $8.50. Why not? Okay, and we'll make a pizza. Pizza equals a new pizza. Given a number of slices, we don't care. That's fine. The base cost should be our expected total cost. Right, and our price per topping. Sure, this one doesn't matter, right? We're not going to add any toppings to it. And then we'll have a double for actual cost. Pizza dot get total cost. So if I make a pizza, I should get it back as base cost. And then remember, when we assert equals here, we want to add that delta, right? So my expected total cost, my actual total cost, and then as long as they're within what, like 0.000001 or something, we're good. Because anytime we're dealing with doubles, we need to have that delta. This is with no toppings. If you just did one, that's perfectly fine, but I'm just going to do two just as a habit here. You know, lots of toppings. So it should cost, I don't know, let's say like $11.50 here. So price per topping, if we add $1 per topping here, so then we have a double rate, dollar cost per topping equals 1. So we still don't care about number of slices, doesn't matter. Then we need to add a bunch of slices, or add topping. So I like green peppers. That should put us at $9.50. I like black olives. That should put us at $10.50. And I like onions. That should put us at $11.50. Right? So if we $1 per topping. Oh, that's right. My base cost here needs to be $8.50 then. Oops. Total cost per topping. Double base cost. Why not? 8.5. There we go. I'm feeling bad about having those words in there. Okay, we can run our tests. Let's see if we get an $8.50 and $11.50 pizza. I think it's $8 or $7.99 if you do a takeout from Domino's. There's one down the street from us, not too far, and you can get like a large 3-topping for $8, I think, with the carry out. And there's also a Jets around the corner if you're in the mood for deep dish. They definitely have the superior deep dish. Okay, so maybe a test pass. All right, so how long was that? Maybe 10 minutes or so, I think, to write pizza and write some unit tests for it. Again, you can just copy paste the methods in if you want, or just give me the link to the whole thing on GitHub. Either is fine. I'm pretty flexible. So the way I sort of estimate this is that if it took me 10 minutes, it'll probably take you maybe half an hour. So if you have 3 long questions that take half an hour each, that's an hour and a half. It gives you 30 minutes to answer 15 short answer quiz style questions, right? So I think that's sort of how to plan things out. So if while you're taking the test, you probably want to set a little timer for yourself. And if you've gone over half an hour on one long answer question, probably time to just pause, move on to the next one. Right? Don't spend a whole hour on one question and then not have enough time to finish everything else. Right? So make sure you're planning your time out there. Okay? Any questions on pizza? We're okay so far? Just gonna drink some tea while you guys are thinking. We got this Hong Kong style tea, and actually I didn't add any milk, but it's really good with milk tea. Apparently that's a thing in Hong Kong. Also British, maybe, but Hong Kong has a strong British leaning, thanks to imperialism. Oh, my daughter was super excited. We were doing a little study on Hong Kong. So she was really excited to learn more about her country. Okay, yeah, pizza seems like the easiest one. Sure. All right, let's try the bad encryption one. Yes, yep. You'll have 2 hours from once you hit start before you have to turn it in. So D2L has this thing that should actually lock it so that you can't make changes after the fact. So like once the 2-hour time limit is up, you can't make any changes. Okay. So just do plan ahead. It's got the timer there, and we should be good to go. All right, let's see. I was reading about, I like all these fun science things, and the Knowledge Fellowship has all sorts of cool streamers. And I've been reading up on some of the cloning technology, and I thought it'd be really cool if we could get better at that technology. It would be really cool. I would love to try an attempt to clone myself, to do some human cloning. But if I wasn't able to make it work, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. The test is anytime Thursday or Friday. I'll have that open in D2L for you, Yogi. So let's write method here. Yeah, or Friday, depending whatever your schedule is like. I'll leave it open all day Thursday and all day Friday. The way the timing works out, the Thursday evening class, I'm not doing midterm review till Thursday at 6 p.m. So they'll have the same time. Like if they want to watch this review session early, great. If they don't, I'm going to do the same review session with them Thursday night. So they'll can either take it Thursday night after we're done reviewing, or they can take it anytime Friday. But I want to try and get everyone to take it around the same block there. Okay, so this little string bad encryption given a string message here. Or string word, sure. It really can encrypt more than a word at a time, like entire messages, okay. So we take each character in the string, add its index position to it, return the badly encrypted string. Okay. So I'm going to use string builder here. Again, it's optional. If you just want to use a regular string, that's fine too, but string builder is probably a better way to do this because we know string appending is terrible if I'm going to build out one string at a time. I'm going to be a little bit careful with that. Or, you know what? I bet we can do it this way too. Let's make a character array. Letters is message.toChar array. This is one of those cool things we saw when we started talking about strings, right? Is you can take a string and turn it into a character array. The strings are immutable, right? But a character array, I can change the characters. I want to say for index is 0, index is less than letters.length, index plus plus. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to take each letter at index, and I want to add to it the index. And I'm going to return a new string given the letters. Right, a string constructor can take the character array. So this one's actually super short. That was like, but I've done this sort of thing before. I like these sort of string manipulation questions. So if that wasn't as obvious, that's okay. Like it might take you a little bit longer to puzzle through all the steps here, but this is all it is. Just this little 3-liner. I guess 4-liner, right? Character array, add, because remember, characters are just Unicode values, so we can add right to them. And we'll return something back. Again, it might not make a lot of sense here, what we get back, because we're going to get some funky characters. We can try it. So let's take, that's it, yeah. Let's take some message. Message is, this is the midterm review. Now, spaces are going to get really screwy because the space character is a particular Unicode value, and when we add something to it, it won't be a space anymore. But that's okay. Then we can print out bad encryption given the message. Let's see what we get. Yeah, it looks like nonsense. Once you get past certain values, this was like it'd be better if we did some sort of wrapping to make sure we didn't go too high, too low to stay within some kind of character range. But again, it's something basic here. Right, if you look back at that Unicode table, let's see, maybe we can clean that up. Let's look at our Unicode. Here, should get a Unicode table or something. What do I find? UnicodeTable.com. I don't know what this is. It's the first hit. It's got to be fine, right? Yeah, here we go. So all of our letters are right around here. So if we get higher than, what's that, 126, we probably want to go back to, say, I don't know, 20 or 33. Now the space is 32. Right, just to make sure we don't get any of this really ugly looking, those squares here. So between 32 and, what did I say here? 126 is printable. No, because we're just adding the index here. So it's just, if we get ugly output, we get ugly output. That's okay. So if we were to undo this then, right, just for fun. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. I broke it. I'm back, NetBeans. Okay. There we go. Come back. So if we wanted to undo our encryption here, right, we could just do the opposite. This is undo bad encryption. We'll just minus equals. Right? Oh my goodness. My mouse is not working today. Not what I wanted to do there. Okay. Okay, so we could print that out, or we could have the string badly encrypted message is this. And I can print that out. And then we can print out the undo bad encryption, given the badly encrypted message. Should get our original back out. There we go. Yep, so we can go from one to the other. So something similar, you'll ask you to do some of the strings, mess around with them, play with them, be able to loop through them, right? Do some of the indexes, that sort of thing. Yeah, does that make sense for this one? Just playing with strings. If you wanted to only do characters, right? We could mess only with characters. So we could say, hey, if letters at index, remember characters have all sorts of cool I'm out of bits. We'll see if it comes back. I ran out of bits. Am I back? It died. Yeah, rip. Sorry. All right, glad it came back quick. So probably this is better. If it is not a white space, then we can convert. And that, I think, it will be more sustainable, I think, to reverse as well. And this is just for fun. I'm just playing with it here. Let's give that a shot. There, so now we keep all of our spaces, and we put them all back. Ooh, interesting. Did that turn into another space? Is it just another character? Huh. Neat. Okay, so this is just playing with it. Having some fun, right? So know you can look stuff up by character, know you can change characters, that sort of thing. Okay, questions about this one? So some of these are easy to overthink, right? So make sure you don't want to do more than you need to. If that makes any sense. Oh, a hat. Yes, you got it. Where? Here we go. All right, Uthrov, are you feeling the Chess Bra hat or the Mickey hat today? I'll let you pick. Chess Bra or Mickey? I'm super excited that Chess Bros just came out with a new mug, and I love coffee mugs, so I'm of course I'll be having their mugs shortly. The black one. Is that the Mickey one? This one here, like that? I told a dad joke already, Sweet Tea. I did a while ago. Right, didn't I? Yeah, remember about cloning? I told my dad joke. All right, you want another one? All right, sure. So a skeleton walks into a bar and orders a beer and a mop. Oh, Scholar, another one. All right, you got it. You got it. Oh, I'm sorry, you missed it. Yeah. Oh man, it was a good one too. It had a good lead up. So, Scholar, you like math a lot, right? We tell a lot of math jokes because they're fun. It's parallel lines I think are really cool, really interesting, because the concept is really easy, but it's hard to draw exactly parallel lines because we're bad at that sort of thing. And they really have so much in common. It's a shame they'll never meet. All right, so our last one here that we're going to extend Beverage with another class. So let's extend Beverage. So let's make this one Mug, maybe. We'll say Mug extends Beverage. And right off the bat, now it's going to yell at us, right? Because we have abstract methods we haven't written, and there's a constructor that takes parameters. We're going to implement all abstract methods. Sure. And it's still yelling at us, right? Add a constructor. There we go. Look at that. It even adds it for us here. Now, do we want anything else in Mug? Yeah, sure. I want Mug to have a string for color, right? Why not? And we'll have this string color. And we'll set this color to the color. This is just me having fun here. Nothing says you had to add the color. We just had to implement it here. Okay, so to fill up the mug, right, we need to set our this dot current volume in milliounces equals the max volume in ounces. Right, that fills it up, sure. Drink from it. Drink some number of ounces. Okay, now drink was supposed to do a couple things, right? Let's see. Get rid of our Unicode table here. Okay. Return an error message if ounces argument is greater than our current volume, otherwise return a successful message. So we're just returning some sort of message here, right? It's going to return some sort of string. It's a string method here. You can check if my ounces is greater than my current ounces. Now again, these were protected variables, right? Protected here. So I have full access to change them, right? As a class that extends Beverage, I have full access because they're protected. They're not private, where I have to use public methods, okay? So I can just go look. If the ounces is greater, then we're going to return, there is not enough coffee in your mug. That's sad for you. Okay. Otherwise, right, we don't really need an else, because if we return, we're done. But I should probably take those ounces out, right? Take my current volume minus equals the ounces. And then I can return, that was some delicious coffee. Okay. That drinks from it. That's it. So we've extended Beverage. And this one, relatively quick. There's a couple catches to it though, right? We have to make sure we're overriding the methods. Right? We have to make sure we're calling that constructor, that sort of thing, and getting whatever functionality here we needed. Okay. There's a fine line between a numerator and a denominator, but unfortunately only a fraction of people will find that joke funny. I've got a buddy who is having some trouble. He loves car parts and car shops and things like that. He's just a big car geek. And lately he hasn't been able to go in without buying brake fluid lately. And I asked him, do you think you've got a problem here? You seem like you keep always wanting to buy more brake fluid. And he says, don't worry, man, don't worry. I can stop anytime. I mean, it's always going to seem easy when I do them, right? Because I wrote the question, I know exactly what I'm looking for. So like when you get into a timed example, and you've got your 2-hour window and I give you something to do, you take a minute and puzzle through it, right? Jot down in English what you need to accomplish, right? Write some pseudocode, figure out what it is you need to do. If you just jump right into writing code here without any idea, it's going to be a little bit harder. So take a minute, right? Think about it. We've got 2 hours, should be plenty of time. Oh, and I do need to mention, if you have had the Access office contact me, about acceptable accommodations through the Americans with Disabilities Act. Just a reminder, that is not automatic. So just because you're approved for it doesn't mean it happens. All right. So if you want those accommodations, you do need to reach out and contact me. Right. So hopefully Access told you folks all about that. But just because you're approved for it doesn't mean I'm putting it in there. Right. You need to then say, okay, yeah, I'd like to use this. So I know it's relatively common. People get extended test time due to like ADHD sort of things. So if that applies to you, please reach out and email me, have that conversation with me, and I'd be happy to do the reasonable accommodations, a little bit longer on the test. But that only applies if you have your paperwork in through the Access office. Okay? So do reach out and tell me if you'd like that. So it's not automatic. I've had people be surprised by that before. Okay? All right, cool. So we commit this code to GitHub here. That's not, nope, oh, bummer. Where'd it go? GitHub, there we go. Oh, they changed their icon a little bit. Is that more of like a solid purple border there? I think. 51. There we go. Here's our midterm review. We got mug, we got pizza test. We got more code in midterm review. Review, morning session. All right. Any other questions? If not, don't forget you guys do have study group today at 4, right? Tomorrow at 6, Thursday at 4 again. I strongly encourage you folks to take a little bit of time, pop in there, talk with each other, talk with our awesome SI, spend some time studying these. Maybe come up with your own alternative and trade questions with each other, that sort of thing. Like come up with some nonsense question here. No, so no lecture Thursday. Good question, Ray. I have nothing else to say on Thursday, so take that time. If you like mornings, take your 10 to noon, take the midterm. If you don't like mornings, if you're like me and you're going to be more at your best, at your peak performance later in the evening, that's great. Take it later in the evening, but I won't have anything for you live on Thursday. So we don't have anything else till next Tuesday when we come back in week 10 of the course. Holy cow, we are cruising through here. We are cruising. That's amazing. And then don't forget, after all this is said and done, we still have Project 3 out there as well, if you've got some free time. You could also get started early on Project 3 and avoid some of that crunch time. Okay, so we'll come back with exceptions and advanced file I/O, Chapter 11, on next Tuesday. So we'll spend 2 weeks in that chapter, and we'll have our last individual project coming up, and then we'll get to our final project at the end of March. You'll have all of April to work on that final project. Project 3 is due. Let's take a peek. I believe it's due on the 18th. Let's see. Yes, the 18th, 6 p.m. So next week, 6 p.m. for Thursday. I'm going over the solution with the evening class. We've got to have it in. Our text-based kart racing game. Okay. And did I mention, I forget if I talked to you folks about it here. This, the actual implementing the game here. Right, the idea is we're just writing the classes. We're not actually writing any of the game part here. Okay. If you want to implement the game for extra points, you can earn an extra 5 points. So if you feel like you didn't do as well as some of the earlier projects and you want to get some extra points for that, you're welcome to take advantage of this opportunity here, where you actually write the game loop that, does all these things. And we're not actually writing anything pretty and graphical, right? It was just, it could tell you where your position is or something like that, or how far away a bend is. Do you want to speed up? Do you want to slow down? That sort of thing. So some sort of game portion of it here that lets you control your cart to speed up, to slow down, go into turns, throw items, that sort of thing. So it's not really a time sort of thing. It's just like a loop. Everybody moves. So whatever your current speed is, you just go that distance. And then the next loop iteration here, we can tell them where they are. Ooh, a rubric. No, let me post that for you. Yeah, that is a to-do rubric for Project 3. Yeah, I'll get that up for you there. Okay, so like items will probably be, this is a good, maybe, what? Carts are 5, 7, items are probably 7, track parts, a couple in there. I'll make sure I get it up, posted for you shortly. Okay, so this item interface here, right, it needs to know the cart and the track that it's on. Right, because remember, we throw items on the track, so track probably needs a way to have an item be put on it here, but if you have a reference to track here, you can call a method. So if track has a method like throw shell at location or something, we can get the location off or whatever we need to do. Right? We need to figure out how we're going to pass this data back and forth to use it here. So, and if we're increasing our speed above the max, cart needs a way to increase speed above the max, right? Through the mushroom item or something, that sort of thing. Okay, so we got to be a little bit creative here on how these classes talk to each other. Okay, yep, so if you've got questions about Project 3, again, you guys are welcome to discuss this, but if you start taking notes on specifically what code you're using and sharing that with each other, we've gone a little too far. Okay? So take advantage of the study group times. You can chat in Discord if you guys are comfortable with that. Yeah, let me know. General questions about it, please post in Discord. That's great because everyone gets the benefit of seeing the question and the answer. We can go from there. All right, so I'll work on the rubric a little bit later. And I got to get the quizzes graded for you. And then you should be able to see the quizzes. I was working with someone, they said they couldn't actually see the questions until I graded it, which I didn't think it was set for that. I thought it was set so you could always go back in and see the questions. So I'll be working on that today to get those up and ready for you. Okay? All right, well, if you don't have any other questions, we can call it an early day. Take some study time, go work on Project 3, be productive, or just go out and enjoy the nice weather. Here it's almost 60. Yesterday was amazing, but not quite as warm today, but that's okay. We're in our fool's spring, right before we get our third winter. It still is officially winter, right, until March 21st, so don't be surprised if it gets cold again. Ooh, got out the grill. Nice. I've got my grill, but I didn't grill. I should have grilled something. What do we do for dinner? My wife made a quiche last night. I should grill. It sounds good. All right, cool. I don't think I changed anything there. So let's go from there. All right, let's see. If anyone else is around, we can go pester on Twitch if we don't have any other questions. All right. Well, I don't see a lot of people around. I think we've rated almost all these other people already. Yeah, we'll probably just call it a day then. All right. Yeah, have a good week. I'll see you folks next Tuesday. If you don't have any other questions, I do have office hours this week. Today, tomorrow, and this half an hour on Thursday before the evening class. Yeah, have a great week. Folks, take care. See ya.